The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the individual or individuals and do not necessarily reflect the views of the producers, network, or advertising partners of Business Bridge Media. The following program contains thoughts, discussions, and views of a mature nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
I knew that I was different. I seen it, I thought it, I dreamt it, I said it, I did it, I made it, I tasted it, I loved it, I need it.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all are tuning in to Cheap Dope. You're probably wondering what Cheap Dope stands for. It's short for cheap dopamine. That is a term I like to use for what is destroying our younger generation, especially young men, because that is young men. It creates a strong. The stronger young men are, it creates a stronger society. Other topics we'll go on the show. We'll discuss things going on in the world. We'll speculate on them. Give our personal thoughts and opinions of how we, the people, could be able to solve that issue and other certain things going on in the world. So, one person I would love to introduce on the podcast, my best friend. Introduce yourself, man.
Yep, what's going on? I'm Jackson McKinley. I've been, friends with Jaylen since
7th grade.
7th grade, about 13 years old. So, yep, we've been, grew up together like all through high school, all through junior high. Yeah. Been friends since, so.
Dude, it's crazy even just sitting here like on this podcast. Like even.
Oh, where we came from.
Yeah,
I mean, like just.
I was walking in the hallway. And he had these red Jordan 1s on. And I remember we were sitting down. I was like, and I sat down. I was like, man, those are cool shoes, man. And he's like, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
I can't talk right now. My voice is dead.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
And then we played one-on-one, and I whooped his ass. But,
that's a lie, actually. That's stricken from the record immediately.
Yeah.
No, he probably did. I was 5'9" and clumsy.
Dude, he was the center. Like, he was like the Shaquille O'Neal in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Like,
and immediately stopped growing right after that. I went to 6 foot by my junior year, and it's been downhill ever since. So.
They had him being power forward and center forever.
Yeah, they were trying to hope I would. Man, our basketball coach literally said that he was like, he's gonna grow up one day. He's gonna be
because your dad is like 6'5".
Yeah, that's what he kept. He was going like, he's gonna be 6'4". I'm like, still hasn't happened yet. So,
yeah, your dad is pretty massive, dude.
He is. Yeah, I'll give him his credit. He's a lot bigger than me. I got the short end of the stick, I guess. But.
Well, I mean, you still swole though.
It's what it is. Yeah, we're making the most of it.
So, me and Jack actually, I kind of followed his footsteps. He actually influenced me to join the military out of high school. We had the Army come to our basketball practice, and we had a whole like fitness deal. And dude, I'll never forget that when we had that and they gave us a deal and you're like, dude, you said right there, like, dude, I'm doing it. Like, I'm joining.
Well, that was so funny to me because me and you were like the only ones sitting there holding the paper.
Like contemplating. After they walked away
and we were just like, yeah, F it. Let's do
screw
it.
Yeah. Why not? And then whenever you pulled the trigger on it, dude, I was like, all right, bro, it's time. And you enlisted in August and I enlisted in September.
August 2018.
Yeah. September 2018. Yeah.
Still in currently. My opinions, though, do not reflect the current stance of the DOD or any stances of the DOD. Just to make that clear right now.
Yeah. So. Well, this is disclaimer notice here. Everything we're talking about is not disclaimer with the DOD.
No.
This is
no ties to them at all.
No ties whatsoever. Okay.
No. Had to clear the air.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we got our very personalized opinions in the world and we see for how it is and everything, but it opens up your mind to the world how the government is when you're inside of it,
Yeah, I would say it definitely does. I don't get a huge insight. I am National Guard. I'm not active duty, so and I'm coming off of a deployment just now, but I don't do this every day. So I will say it's different. It's just like a workplace.
Yeah.
Your unit climate depends on how the Army is for you. And I'll stand on that.
Yeah.
You can have a terrible experience or you can have a great experience. Yeah. You can have and I hate hearing people that badmouth it 100% and they don't take advantage of the tools that they were given. Like, okay, did you use the GI Bill? Did you use TA? Did you use credentialing assistance?
Yeah.
Did you use NGTW? Like, did you use any of this stuff that was provided for you? And then they're like, well, just a waste of my time. I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is, because you didn't use any of the stuff that they're paying for. And I will say,
or the life lessons too.
Yeah, that's the big kicker, man. If you think you lack mental toughness, basic training's got a little bit softer nowadays, in my opinion.
But when we went, dude, it was right towards the end when it was rough, man.
Yeah, it was. I would say it was the end of a rougher period. I'm still not going to compare myself or my service to the guys that were going in during like the surge, surge of Iraq or Afghanistan war, because it's different times. I mean, this is peacetime in the military. You know? Yeah, sure, there's stuff going on, but this is not. We're not in a war. You know? Or at least not with active personnel involved. Our money's going there, but we're not going there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but yeah, that's what I would say. I'm not going to encourage or disencourage somebody from joining the military. Because I don't agree with everything they do, and I'm sure they don't agree with everything I do. But what I will say is, if you are going to do it, take advantage of that stuff, or at least attempt to.
Yeah.
And if your command's giving you problems, well, then that's why you got open door policies at like the BC and the brigade commander level. So use them. That's what my encouragement would be. If you're having problems with your current chain of command, well, go around them, because they aren't. That means they're not pushing it up for you.
Yeah, but, we've all been there. If you have a shitty leader, man, dude, it
makes your life hell.
Yeah, that kind of goes within everything, dude. The military, the business,
just like a workplace.
Yeah,
it's literally no different. It's just the job is different.
Yeah, it's just this time you're talking about it. Just depending on your job, it just makes it shittier.
It is one of those ones that's life and death too. I mean, I would put police in the same category. You gotta crap. I don't know about police, but I would put it in roughly the same category.
I mean, it's very similar to military.
Yeah, exactly. You got a crappy corporal or crappy
sergeant or even
anything.
chief.
Yeah, and then that can put lives in jeopardy. It's the same thing in the military,
and it can cause unhappiness in the way that in the respect of leadership too, man.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it, man. I mean, dude. I mean, we've seen it in the military. Me being in, dude, you got a shitty leader, man. It's hard to have respect for that and want to and execute at a high level. But if you got a great leader, personally, one of my drill sergeants, Barnhouse, I told you about him, dude. Like him. And he was everybody respected him so much, dude. If he said something or whatever, his opinion mattered so much to everybody.
Yep.
And we would do anything for that. So it can make or break.
The example, though. I mean, that dude was a monster the way you described him.
Oh, dude.
So a lot of people think that leadership is just. And I'm about to have a business administration degree. Sorry, I'll speak it into effect.
Yeah,
I'm close. I graduate in June 30th. So. But leadership cannot be understood by a book. It's a skill, and it's a skill that you learn over your entire life. Mm-hmm. I've been in a leadership role for maybe 2 years. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but what I will say is you set the example when you lead. Regardless, people will watch you. Yeah, people will watch you even when you think they're not watching you. So
bro.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Spit, bro.
You set the example whether you realize it or not.
Yeah,
so.
that's all leadership is, man, is constantly, and it's everybody else before yourself. Mm-hmm. That is one thing.
Leadership.
Dude. Yeah, you make sure your soldiers eat before you fucking do. Dude, whenever I was, even in a leadership position, just in basic, dude, I fucking ate last out of 260 people.
Yeah, exactly.
And why? Because I remember my drill sergeant was like, you eat last. You know why? Because you make sure your soldiers eat before you do.
100%.
And that's the whole part of leadership, and the reason of failed businesses, or maybe failed squads or lack of sense of urgency. It all comes because of the leader, and the leader is not taking care of his soldiers, and he's not trying to lead by example and put them first and have them operate at a high example. And to make people operate at a high example, you got to be operating at a high example. So it just follows the footsteps.
Yep.
You lead by shit. Everybody else in your organization is going to be shit.
Yep. I had a phenomenal LT this last deployment that I just went on. I won't mention him by name, but he's definitely been the best officer I've ever been around. And he had the opposite of this mentality, where a lot of crappy leaders that you see, it's you. It's never me. I'm like, that is the wrong mentality to have in a leadership role. First of all, if you can't acknowledge your own faults, even if I didn't mess up, it's always, I should have informed you better then, or I should have prepared you better for that situation. Yeah. Even if I had zero involvement with it, that is the mentality to take in my
full
opinion.
accountability.
Yeah, it's 100%
for
my fault.
Everybody's fault.
100%.
Dude, that's kind of that goes back to what I was talking about, when I told you, all that I know is that I owe. Mm-hmm. The reason I owe everybody, the reason why, if my cousin that lives with me, Mikey, like if I didn't operate a high example, he would still be doing the same shit he was doing before.
Yep.
If I didn't learn how to overcome mental adversity and, change your mind by planting good positive things in the conscious mind and your subconscious, my mom, certain family members would be still miserable and act the deal. So it's taken, the moment you realize that everything else is your fault, you look in the mirror, then that's where your life changes.
100%.
I talked about that on the past podcast.
Yeah. I remember watching that.
Yeah, when you look in the mirror and realize everything in your life that's going wrong is your fault, because it technically is.
It is.
Is that person, it might have been that person led themselves up to that, but we have the opportunity as young men and leaders, and even young women, to be able to step up and
become a different person.
Yeah.
You can become a different person.
And to guide that person, it's like, dude, it's biblical. This is biblical. Like, dude, Luke 15, why stay with the 99 sheep? You're 99, and leave the last one stranded. You leave those 99 sheep to go for that lost sheep. And it's no difference, man. It's like we're all account. And the moment you look at that and you realize, like, the reason why your loved ones in your life are acting the way they do, dude, it's your fault partially because you might have not even been able to try it enough to help change them.
100%. And are you sharing the right ideas? Are you living the example? I'm going to say it. It's a stupid phrase. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, that's just wrong. I'm like, then you're not living the example that you're trying to impose on somebody.
Do as I say, not as I do. So you're basically being hypocritical at that point.
100%.
Yeah.
100% you are.
Yeah.
You should live what you want to be. You should live your standard.
Yeah. That's facts, dude.
Yep.
That is facts, man. Dude. Well, I'm glad you're freaking here, bro.
Heck yeah, man.
I mean, dude, being E5 now, man.
Yeah, it's not as high up as I thought it would be, but it's
you get that respect though.
A little bit, yeah. It's compared to my E4 days, which I understand. It's like a rite of passage almost. Like you go through the crap fest, and then now it's
you're
like,
part of it.
Yeah, now you have a say, or at least some of a say.
And they don't look at you like you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah,
like,
it sounds bad to say it like that, but that's honestly how
true.
it is. Like
that's like they
just
look
do
at
your
you
job. Like
yeah, seriously.
But now you have like I guess the ability to critically problem solve or creatively think magically.
So what I love, dude, what you're talking about is like with the military, like when people complain about it, like you never see me complain about it. I'm like, I left with a bitter taste in my mouth. But dude, what
happened to you was, messed up. Frankly, that was just a bad way for them to handle that.
Yeah.
So,
but either way, everything happens for a reason, but I'm thankful for it. I've told my mom this. I told, like, dude, this is like going back to biblical stuff. Like, everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
John 13:7, Jesus said, you don't understand what I'm doing right now, but later you will.
Yep.
If I didn't join the military, I wouldn't have gotten to serious lifting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have developed. I wouldn't even known I was a leader. Like, I didn't really understand how much a leader was until I got to that setting.
Yep.
And then I'm like, stupid, and I'm having... Like I'm 18. I'm having another 18-year-old kid to come up to me and tell me how to change their life. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I didn't understand that. And then I get out of that setting, like, dude, the military, even though I got out of it, unfortunately, was forced out. I developed great leadership skills.
Yep.
Understanding people skills.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
That is. Talking to people, public speaking.
Talking to people and understanding where people come from, dude. I remember one story one time, dude. Remember I told you about Mailbox? Mm-hmm. How like if people used to make fun of him? Dude, well, bro, people were making like, dude, he was getting bullied, and some other girl was getting people were like telling other people to shut the fuck up and stuff. I remember it was like week 4, week 5 or something. I remember I went, you know what? And Drill Sergeant went around and said, everybody take a knee. Mm-hmm. And everyone took a knee, and I said, people were like, what are we doing? Like, you tell them, I was like, we're going to go one by one. I want one person, each one. Why did you join the military, and what is your purpose in life?
Yep.
And went one by one. And some people were just like, well, like, I didn't know what to do with college. It's like, some people silver spoon a little bit, you know. Some people, and then, dude, like some people, like, there's like only 2 people in the whole platoon that didn't want to speak. They're like, I'd really kind of want to keep that to myself. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. And then we got up to Mailbox, people that used to make fun of him, fucking shit on him. Mm-hmm. Dude, he talked about how he was homeless, He was, dude, his dad kicked him out of the fucking house.
Yep.
He was 18 years old, just graduated. He's like, oh, you're not paying, you don't got enough money to pay bills. Fuck, you're a grown ass adult. You're not paying shit. Kicked him out. He was sleeping under a bridge. He worked for McDonald's for about 2 months.
Yep.
And said, screw this shit, and went straight to the military.
Yeah.
And signed up and was like, please, whatever. And was still sleeping, like, staying at the Salvation Army out. Like, dude, all this crazy stuff. Dude, and you know what's crazy? And then there was another girl who's super quiet. Dude, she was like super quiet girl. No one really talked to her. And she opened up and talked about how her mom got hooked up on drugs.
Yeah.
They foreclosed the house. Like, they got evicted. She was basically kicked out on the streets, and she had no choice. Like, she had no family or anything. Dude, and then that brought like realization, like, dude, the people to the left and right of you are your brothers and sisters, man.
Yeah.
And you don't know what these people are going through. You don't know why they're here, what they've been through, or anything. So why are we showing disrespect?
Yep.
And dude, that opened up, like, I don't know how I was able to articulate that. 18? I think a lot of it has to do with my pops.
Yeah.
But able to set that up, that it brought so much rapport within the platoon.
Yeah.
And just open up and realize you don't know where people come from. So that opened up, like, that was a huge vibe. I'm sure, dude, I mean, even the military, you come across all types of people.
Oh, you come across everyone. I would say, especially on the active duty side, National Guard. Yeah, we all grew up in Arkansas. We all lived in Arkansas.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that, I was pretty blessed growing up in my life. I'll admit that right now.
Yeah.
I don't come from crazy hard times or anything like that. I created hard times for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want to talk about that?
yeah, I can a little bit. So I had my first daughter at 17, and she was a blessing. And she was, I love her to this day. And she was a big reason of why I joined the National Guard. So I had a college fund for me. Right. And I still, use it for my current college. Right. I'm trying to go for an MBA now as the next step. I've got my mind set on that. But I really wanted to be able to free up a lot of that money so that she could have the funds necessary for college one day. And it sounds weird to think like that, but it was like, well, I wanted to help out. And that's the main path that I saw, taking that route and trying to use someone else's money or my own money that I earned to pay for something like that, it would help set her up for success.
Yeah.
Or set, now I have two little girls, so set them up for success. And that's really what it was about. So that's why I say I created hard times for myself, and then had to, work through that.
Sharpen you more, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, I went through, it was a rough time my junior year.
I've seen it firsthand. I was front row seats.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it from, I remember the first time when you told me that, that she was pregnant.
That there was a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember, then the backlash you experienced, and, through all that, you still stood 2 toes down, bro. It showed a lot about your character, bro. Real shit, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it was rough working through that. And then I handled it very poorly at the time.
So did I. I was kind of
extremely anxious, man. If I want to talk about it, any time where I've almost felt like I've had a panic attack, that would be it. Would be junior year, and it was like January, and I was trying to work up the courage to talk to my parents about it, and I just like broke down, dude, and I couldn't do it. And it's pretty wild at the time, but now that I've like experienced that, I'm like, well, I know what to do.
Yeah,
when faced with a situation like that, I'm like, it's. I think the main lesson I learned was it's okay to ask for help. Like, you can ask people for help if you have something going on. So
that's facts, bro.
But yeah, no, I had to created my own hard times for myself and had to work through them. That's the gist of it.
But you handled it like a man, dude. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, yeah, you might have.
I would say the aftermath.
Yeah. I mean, but bro, dude, you were still like fucking only 16, bro.
Yeah.
16, 17, and then, you had Lorelai when you were 17. Like, bro, that's a huge fucking.
I think it's an important lesson to learn that you can make, well, she's not a mistake, and I'll stand on that all day. But you can have things happen in your life that can affect you in a drastic way at a young age, and you don't know the full like repercussions or what can come of those actions, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So it's important to get locked in at a younger age. I wish at 16 I was listening to Andy Frisella, which I know me and you
Facts,
and take that podcast a lot because it really would have helped my mental state going through that. I mean, so, and it helps in an amazing amount now. Like I'm never gonna stop lifting. I'm never gonna stop trying to improve.
That was the best decision we've ever made.
100%. And it was random. That night was just so random.
So random, dude.
It was like we were sitting in my apartment. We were like, let's just go get jacked. We sound like some meatheads when we did it.
Dude,
but
we were lifting in his apartment.
Yeah,
we got
during
videos.
COVID.
I got videos of us like doing some fucking weird like bench shit. We were benching.
We were so
we're doing some
dumb.
like trying like dude, we had no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, that
and
was
hey,
hilarious.
dude, we went full gung ho and then stuck through it since, man.
Yep.
Like dude, I'll never forget October 16th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's like whenever I took that picture of that was like the time whenever we fucking started lifting, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, we stuck through since, dude.
Yep.
Hell yeah, look at us now,
Been a
bro.
lot of lessons learned, but it's an experience. Highly encourage everyone to take your physical fitness seriously.
Yeah.
It has a ginormous effect on your mental health. Take what you put into your body seriously because it affects your mental health.
Listen to this.
It's processed crap that the FDA does not care about you. They don't care about you at all.
Neither does the government.
It's a fact. That is a fact. Like they don't care. They don't care if you.
It's about money.
They don't care if you eat McDonald's all day and then go get prescribed 15 pills, which I've heard you talk about that a lot on your Instagram and throughout podcasts.
Yeah. So like, dude, what you just said right there is facts, man. Because not only like, so you joining and hopping in your own fitness personal journey, you guys got to realize. It improves your mental health you're talking about. Dude, your mental image of yourself is what dictates your whole life.
100%.
The way you view yourself, you're looking in the mirror and you hate yourself in the mirror. You don't like the way you look. You're very self-conscious about the way you look. That impacts everything in your life.
Yeah.
The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you even handle certain situations, like how you handle adversity. And usually whenever you're in a certain stage like that and you're morbidly obese or whatever, you don't have discipline. So you don't even have the discipline to be able to handle adversity.
Yeah.
So, dude, the gym,
and
in
that
my
feeling
opinion,
of hopelessness. Not to cut you off, but you feel hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you can't do anything. And I promise whoever's listening to this, you can fix it. It is through simple discipline. And this is what's fucked up about the fitness industry though, because the fitness industry is the Wild West. What people don't realize, it's literally the Wild West.
Very cutthroat.
Because dude, they thrive and profit off the unknowledgeable Americans because we're not taught anything in fucking high school.
Nope.
Like, hey, what do we do? We were in the same health class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what do we do? What do we do every day? Do some vocab and we went to the gym. Some days we didn't have to do that. He was like, go to the gym.
Yeah. It was I wish that portion of education would be taken a lot more seriously. And I think it should be a mandatory, there should be a test attached to that or something. If somebody's a bad test taker, well, then they should have some basic understanding of health and fitness because maybe it was harped on and I just wasn't paying attention, but it sure seems like all we did was go over vocab.
It was like bullshit.
It was like
that little pie chart.
It was like
the grains, the weeds. That's bullshit.
It's very outdated. It's
bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's programming, bro. It's programming you to not know what the fuck macros are. Dude, I didn't even know what a macronutrient was.
Yeah.
Going out of high school. And then I learned, I'm like, what the hell is carbohydrates? What do they do?
Yep. And you hear rumblings from all the people around you, and then a lot of people just never do their own research.
They don't.
Yeah.
And then that's where the finishing I was talking about earlier, that's where that comes in because then they come in and they're like, I'll tell you keto. Listen, y'all want to lose 50 pounds in a month. Hop on my own keto diet. Not only, and I'm about to get, we're going to get a little fitness here. Not to mention that 1 gram of carbs holds 2 to 3 grams of water. And that when you eat carbs, it turns into glycogen that's stored inside your muscle. And that glycogen retains 2 to 3 grams of water.
Yep.
So when people are on keto, this is to teach y'all something. Imagine getting your body like a wet rag and you're going,
drying it out.
Dude, you're rinsing your body dry and you're malnourished, you're dehydrated, which fucks with your hormones.
Yep.
And you wonder why you lost 50 pounds. And then you hop on, you eat normal for the next month. You're like, oh my God, I gained it all back. Well, no shit, because I need to re-clarify the way I'm about to say it. I'm not calling y'all stupid or idiotic or anything, but y'all just don't know better.
You just fell victim. Bro, I'll speak to myself a little bit on that. So I bought V-Shred pills, if you remember, such a long time ago.
V-Shred's a scam.
It's a big scam. I'll say that with confidence.
V-Shred's a scam. I don't give a shit.
Don't buy that stuff. Don't buy it. It's not worth your money. But I spent like $240 on that. Because I was like, oh, yeah, it's my
that bullshit test booster, like a barely any ashwagandha in there.
19, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's my test, man. I'm like, dude, I'm running it like probably the highest test I'm ever going to have.
Yeah,
so I was just being an idiot, you know, and wasn't taking my nutrition serious, wasn't taking my water intake serious.
I remember one time we got done in the 2-hour workout. You know,
I know what you're talking about.
Well, just say it.
Mac and cheese, bro. I was eating mac and
this motherfucker, he came in. We ate what? 2-hour RNA. I'm like, all right, man, I got my Aftershock, all this shit, some protein. And I didn't really even know nutrition. I was just worried about protein, not necessarily carbs and stuff. And this dude, I come back and fucking Emily made a mac and cheese.
Well, see, what happens, man, is that's actually protein mac and cheese by Kraft. They actually put brown rice fragments in there to activate
chickpea pasta. Chickpea pasta.
So it's all chickpea.
So it was actually Bonza pasta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I said Kraft.
Okay, Kraft, my bad. Yeah, that makes sense. So it was protein infused.
Yeah, it's protein infused. Yeah, it just looked like Kraft.
So what was the bioavailability on that? Was it pretty insane?
It's really high bioavailability, actually. Yeah, it's
it's like 300%,
yeah,
right?
Like, yeah,
and it spikes your tests as well, don't it?
Yeah.
See, dude, we just sold y'all right there. No, dude, that's what the fitness industry does, bro. They when it comes to so what they'll do is they'll promise, and this is also one thing in the fitness industry what a lot of people don't realize. If you're lost and you don't know what path to take, I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to take a long time.
Yep.
People want long-term results in a short-term amount of time.
100%.
Just like no difference from fitness or even financial deal. You can't be an overnight millionaire.
No, it's not a thing.
It's a compound effect of daily deposits and wins, right? And this is like, what Andy Frisella talks about, the power list. Like, dude, it's executing on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yep.
If you want to be physically fit and you want to get in the best shape of your life, it is consistent day-to-day. You can't do it for 2 days and fuck off the next. Or you can't do it for a week and then decide to go drink your life off and cheat. Oh, because I worked hard during the week.
Calories and alcohol, man.
Facts. People don't realize that shit
too. A lot, too.
And also, not to mention that alcohol, it diminishes your protein synthesis
your recovery
as well.
Gets messed
so your
up,
recovery gets messed up, your REM sleep gets messed, like all of this stuff. It's messing with all your deal and your digestive function.
Yep.
What a lot of people don't realize, a little fun fact: when you're drinking alcohol, the reason why you're pissing so much because alcohol is poison. So your body, your body is going through a certain cycle to release all of the alcohol. So it's flushing all of your water throughout your body to try to get rid of the alcohol out of your system. So it cancels your digestive function. So when you're drinking, you're hammering, and you're eating, when you're eating that food, your body's not able to digest it properly. So it's getting stored as fat in your subcutaneous, mainly in your belly area. That's why they call it beer guts. Yep. You ever seen somebody with a big ass belly and then they're skinny in the legs, skinny arms and shit? I got family members like that. I'm just saying. And it's because alcohol. But I mean, this is little things like the stuff we're talking about. If we were properly taught this in the schooling system, I talked about this on my Instagram.
Change the whole course of your life.
Yeah, I think it should be literally a mandatory deal to talk about diet, dietitian, and fitness. But then we go to the main question. Why not though? Why isn't that already?
Yeah.
Well, then if you do that, then you're fucking the pharmaceutical business and other businesses out of billions of dollars.
Yes.
Because then, not millions, billions.
Yes.
Because how many people are prescribed to SSRIs?
I don't even have a number for that.
How many people are prescribed or going to weight loss clinics and doing some fucking methadone shots?
I sure as hell don't have a number for that.
How many people are or even this, dude, like we know, the female friend, you already know I'm talking about, country girl. Mm-hmm. Her mom got a gastric bypass. Mm-hmm. Cut her stomach in half to lose weight.
Yeah.
So her stomach is about the size, is half the size, and she can only eat like 1,200 to 1,500 calories,
which is nuts.
If not even that. So the reason why they're losing weight because she's literally forced to only eat a certain amount of food. She can't eat a certain amount of food.
Yes,
dude, it's literally, bro. That should be criminal.
That's terrible. Because if you think about what's 1,200 to 1,500 calories, I encourage you to next time that you go to a fast food place or something like that, Look at the calorie amount in like a bacon cheeseburger or something like that.
Dude, go to
You're gonna be
Cane's, bro.
shocked.
One meal from Cane's is 2,000 plus.
Yeah, easy money. You like, 'cause you ain't
2,000
gonna, you ain't gonna get a box combo. You're getting the Caniac combo, bro.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
You're
get
like 25 to 3K right there.
right
calories.
there, bro. And that's not even counting
The
soda,
sodium. That's not counting the fats.
drinks,
from the,
any of the fries,
and also the sauce.
Yep.
The
Cane
sauce is the
People be
most
getting extra
condensed calorie sauce, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Not hating on Cane's, but I'm just saying you should be. And I would speak.
The
I'm not
oils.
hating on alcohol either, but you should be aware of what you're putting into your body. And a lot of people are very unaware of the compounding effect that will have.
Yeah.
Especially these like serious lifters who are like college age like us, but then they go out and get hammered every night or every weekend or Wine Wednesday or
wine bag. Slap the bag. Slap the bag.
I'm like, man, that's why. And then they're like, oh, I'm plateauing. I'm like, dude, you're not plateauing, bro. I'm like, you're just not
getting
taking
hammered.
it serious. Yeah.
And your body can't grow. You're literally forcing your body not to be able to recover and grow.
And on your old point, I always tell people, I'm like, what? Because I don't get too many questions because I'm not a crazy big dude, but I'll get people come up and be like, man, I was like, that's cool. How'd you do that? And they hate the answer, but it's time. That's the simplest answer I could give you, man. Time.
Yeah, time is of the essence, man.
Yeah, and if you make those daily deposits like what you're talking about, you'll see it.
Yeah,
you'll see it. You'd be surprised how much you can do in a year.
Yeah, dude, that's facts.
Especially in the fitness world.
So also, dude, in one thing, so kind of talking with the fitness world, what you can do in a year is so powerful. But I would encourage y'all to do this. Visualize yourself how you would look a year from now.
Yep.
I'm telling y'all right now, and a lot of y'all are limited by your own mind as well.
Yes.
You may not even have the knowledge. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn from people just like us. We can help you guide. We can train you and help you guide you in the right direction.
Lane
give you the
Norton,
nutrition.
Mike Israetel, Jeff Nippard, all of these guys. There's so many resources out there that put stuff out for free.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even charge for it. Like there's podcasts, there's information out there
everywhere
that you can intake, or you can literally just learn by trial and failure.
That's what we did.
That's exactly what we did.
Dude, we look like retards in the gym.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh, dude, I look back at some of the stuff, the videos.
I saw a video of me doing curls.
Oh, man.
It was
so
bad,
bad, I was
dude.
like, dude,
I was like,
man.
I was like, what was I doing? I was like, this is just
But you know
so
what,
dumb.
though? You know what, though? We were trying, bro.
That's all it takes, really.
That's all it takes, man. Like, dude, if you ain't failing, you ain't trying. And we might have looked like very stupid in the gym and stuff, which we in our heads, we didn't realize we were stupid. We were like, we thought we were doing shit.
We were like,
we thought we were the dudes, bro. But that's not, but that also goes back to your mindset, bro. That's the reason why we're able to do this, because we had confidence in ourselves. We had our mindset and we had our vision. We vision ourselves how we would look like in the future, dude. And that's
I think we just didn't care if we looked stupid.
No,
either.
we didn't.
Like I don't care.
But a lot of it's mindset, dude, because we had confidence, bro. We had confidence in ourselves. We knew what we're capable of. And I mean, we knew what the fuck we could do.
100%.
I mean, just like everything we're planning on doing from the future now, you know?
Yeah.
So dude, when I did seriously, the picture, I'll see if I could try to put it up on the podcast, but I got a picture of when we started. October 16th of 2020. I got my picture when I had my dad. I had him take a picture of me and go, hey, I'm like, Dad, take this picture of me. And I made him shake my hand. I was like, I want you to shake my hand. And he's like, what, son? I'm like, Dad, shake it, please. And he's like, what? For what? And I'm like, Dad, I promise you, I want to make a promise that I'm going to go to the gym from here on out and I'm not going to miss.
Yeah.
I'm going to completely give me a year and I'll look completely different. And I did.
You did.
Dude, and dude, I swear to God, bro, and I'd say this, man, like when I visualize myself, and this is why I'm big on visualization, when I visualize myself, I literally, dude, I became that picture.
Yeah.
And then it came to 20, whenever a year in, and I visualized what it'd be 2 years, and then I'm like, dude, I wonder what I look like when I'm 23, dude, and it's literally accomplished that.
Nuts.
So
yeah, and we should throw up that March 2020 picture. Remember we took it in my apartment?
Yeah.
And that was before we even started. Like, because the COVID lifts, we were pretty inconsistent. I claim I claim October as my official start date because we weren't really taking it serious. We were trying.
We were trying,
but there was no gyms
open,
stuff like that. We tried core workouts. We had a barbell and a little rack.
We didn't have a program too.
Yeah, we were just freestyling.
freestyling.
And it was like 3-4 times a week maybe. So I don't claim that as my official start date. I do claim October.
Yeah,
because that's when we really got down to it. Yeah, the gyms had opened back up, so we were going nuts. Yeah,
it took off from there. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, like, what y'all like, listen from Jack right there. Get in the gym, like, listen.
Please.
If y'all need any help, like whatsoever, like.
There's so many people out there that will help you.
Yeah, and ourselves, man. Like, you know, I got my own online coaching business. I'm trying to get J-Mac on it as well. We can help you. We can set up programs for y'all. You know, got nutrition programs. We can be able to simplify that process. And also, but I'm more of a mental coach more than anything because your mindset is more than anything. And I believe the best way to sharpen your mind is putting yourself through physical adversity. That's how I got a lot of mental strength from the militaries, because when you're doing those long rucks, you know, those painful long rucks, those super early mornings, super long nights, sleep deprived, you know, it develops mental fortitude.
You just keep going.
Yeah, you keep going.
I'm just going to keep going. You know, that's, I'm not going to quit.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't afford to quit.
You gotta have a knock. You have to be relentless.
Yeah, seriously.
That's like the word I think to myself. I think intense, purpose, and relentless. If I'm intense, I have the right purpose in mind, and I'm relentless. I'm not going to fail. It's not going to happen.
That's serious.
You care if I shout out 2 other people, by the way?
Go ahead.
In case somebody out there's got a personal vendetta against me and you. Jacob Murrell is an excellent coach. I've never done any of his stuff before, but he's phenomenal. I know he pitched, seeing him talk about Andy Frisell every day. Yeah. I know he has the same mindset as us. And then I would like to talk about Herman Brown as well. Yeah. That dude is very, very knowledgeable. I don't know where he works at, the Walton Rehab Center or something.
I have no idea, to be honest
with you.
But
if you go to my following and type in those names, in case you got a personal hatred of me and Jaylen or something like that, that's where I would push you to.
Yeah. Jacob, that's the reason why Jacob and I got, you know, super fucking close, man, because Jacob is literally, we got to get him on. Yeah, I already told him, but man, he's so freaking busy, man. I want to get him on here so bad.
Yeah.
That dude is busy. I mean, dude, but talk about, I mean, he's going to do a half Ironman I saw in October.
Jesus, I didn't even know
dude,
that.
he did like almost a full month of immersed every day in a row, consecutive.
Saw that. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, he is driven by hard. Like and he's the one that pushed me towards Andy Frisella. Yeah, because I was talking about everything.
You pushed him. Yeah, and then I'm full on, man.
Yeah, seriously, we're starting 75 hard next Monday.
Yep.
So we're gonna probably you're probably gonna get this aired on Friday. So literally, we're gonna make an announcement. We're gonna try to create a group, and any of y'all that want to hop on this journey with us and do 75 hard, you're more than welcome to join. We want to create a group chat and be able to hold accountability. You know, share stories and just be able to push each other, because this is what the whole point of the podcast here is literally to help sharpen individuals, because, you know, at the end of the day, my main purpose and intent in life is to sharpen as many people as possible, because and especially young men, because the stronger our young men are in our generation, the stronger our country is going to be. And we're being attacked intentionally within our young men.
100%. No one's out there looking out for you.
No.
Just so you're aware. Nobody is looking out for you. So take solace in each other is what I would encourage. You know, Jaylen is a role model, in case you weren't aware. So that's who I would look towards. He's one of my role models, whether he knows it or not. So I watch everything that guy does. So
love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, man.
I'm glad you're here, dude.
Yeah,
dude, same to you, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, that's what brothers are for. Iron sharpens iron. Like,
100%.
Yeah, there's things I went through. He might admire and everything, but there's a lot of things I admire by him. This is why he's sitting right here, right now.
Yep.
Dude, real shit. You know, like the shit that you've been through and how you handled having, you know, 2 girls, man. I mean, that's fucking inspired me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the whole point of brothers are for.
Exactly.
And being strong men is sharpening each other and holding each other accountable.
100%.
So, you know, and that's the beauty of life too, man. That's literally
uplift each other.
Yeah, and talk about God too. That's biblical. That's what Jesus did. Jesus is the most masculine man to ever live, bro.
Agreed.
100%.
Literally,
people think he's like, oh, my name is Jesus. I love it. No,
they just assume him to be passive.
Dude, he was not passive at all.
No,
he was aggressive and loving.
Yes.
but he was assertive to make sure you knew the truth.
Yes.
And that's why they killed him, because he spoke nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
And people to forget that he went into the church where they were selling and flipping tables and whipping people with a band of thorns.
Yeah.
Is that a super passive guy? Or?
No. Yeah.
No, he was very assertive.
Yes.
You know, but that's what we're lacking right now. So now, all right,
pivot finally to the
that was a great talk.
That's a 40-minute intro.
Yeah,
right there.
This is gonna be a good episode. So the one thing we wanted to talk about is the intentional destruction of America.
Yep.
Okay.
What's going on?
So first episode talk about the demasculization of men. Last episode we talk about how the devil runs the industry. My personal opinion, it's really ran all by the devil. You know, their secret. I mean, like, dude, when you play Assassin's Creed, right? I got some video games.
This one,
dude, they got Easter eggs in there, like the Templars and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think
Secret
about.
Society, man, like the Freemasons, bro. That they're pointing on to something.
Yeah.
What y'all got to realize is that, you know, we the people are the power, but we're so
100%.
manipulated through, you know, government programming since we're kids going through school to manipulate us into not believing ourselves and blindly abiding what is pushed out in front of us.
Indoctrinated by fear.
And
that's what I like to say. Been indoctrinated by fear.
Dude.
Yep.
COVID was a prime example. Listen,
100%.
like what, dude? You remember the videos with COVID? They had people drive, like in China, they had people in hazmat suits. They showed, and people were like
door to
falling
door.
over.
I saw those videos.
Yeah,
I know everybody else did too.
Yeah, and it scared the shit out of everybody. It scared the shit out of me. Like, hell, we're kind of like, oh shit, there might be some like freaking World War Z stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's through the manipulation of fear in the media.
Yes.
So they control this intentionally to push us towards a certain way. And if COVID didn't open up your eyes, I don't know what did.
Yeah. And if you think that we're just some nut jobs, oh, these guys are anti-vaxxer nut jobs or whatever. Well, I encourage you. I don't have the source on me, but I pulled it from the Andy Frisella podcast. It was one of their CTI topics. And it was about, 2 months ago. There's a article that came out. A lot of like major media put it out where they're just saying, "Oh, treat COVID like the flu.
Yeah,
treat it like the flu."
So
it's
now
almost
it's the flu.
So you telling me this thing that we shut down our entire society
Shut down small businesses, social distancing children, creating psychological damage to young kids not be able to experience or even express facial expressions.
Social interaction is an important part.
So super social interactions. Dude, when I talk about small businesses, dude, the major corporations were running, but the small business, the small popping businesses were getting shut down and left and right. If you were in a state like New York or anything, you were fucked.
You're done.
Dude, you were fucked. Dude, think about people's lifelong work, not being able to go to work, not being able to do what they do, and getting foreclosed on their business. And
that's why you had a mass exodus to red states or states with lax COVID policies. I won't necessarily say red states, but Florida had lax COVID policies. Texas
that's why a lot of people moved to Texas and Florida. Arkansas
got some too.
The South, really, a lot of the Bible Belt of America, just the South.
And I'm glad that we have people here, but don't come here and make the same mistakes that you made in your old state.
Yeah,
it would be my message of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? We got a good thing going here in Arkansas. Let's keep it that way.
So one thing, I wanted to talk about too, through the indoctrination of fear. What you all got to realize is the media and everything being presented to us are owned by major corporations that are united as well. Warner Brothers owns CNN.
Yes.
Disney owns Fox Corporation.
Yes.
Disney and Warner have been they've cooperated with many fucking times.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me that Disney and Warner's aren't connected?
Yeah,
but they're all under the same management.
Yes.
So you got, and not even that, and not only causing a complete manipulation of fear and propaganda but what they're doing is they're intentionally imagine the same management team.
Yeah,
the same management team is making a news channel here. Just put it like this, and making a news channel here. And then they got people over here trying to tell people the hate, all the shit that the other news channel talks about. The other news channel talks about hate. So what does that do? It's causing a complete divide.
Yes.
So there's division, there's fear, and manipulation.
100%.
It's all really manipulation.
100%. And people think that just because this is the United States of America, it's the greatest country in the world. I'll stand on that. just because we have the most freedom does not mean that we don't have propaganda machines being thrown at us.
Yeah.
Our news is not immune to that. It's been throughout history. You can go look at Dr. Seuss writing World War II cartoons that boosted the image of the U.S. This is a historical thing. Russian media, we're not allowed to view it. North Korea has
why don't
absolutely
we
access
see
to other
any
media.
why don't we see any talks of Putin? Why don't we get to see what he's talking about?
Exactly. And I do believe he's probably a warmongering dictator.
He could, yes.
But why can we not see that? Why what are they
Controlled
hiding?
information.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh yeah, well, we have the freedom to look this up. Well, do you? Like, that would be my question. What's the difference between our media and North Korea's? North Korea's just in your face about it.
Oh,
what we
dude.
do here is we shadow ban people. We tear down people's content and stuff. Like look at the Twitter files that Elon Musk released. Stuff like that. It's a fact. They're just avoiding the truth at this point. If you don't think that there's people out there that are controlling the narrative and controlling what people think is what they're trying to do. And you got to not let that happen. Pull your news from independent sources.
Facts, and pull your mind from outside of just being stuck inside the news bubble.
Yeah, or a
really-
political party.
Yeah,
frankly,
dude,
get away from that.
Y'all got to, and this is one thing too. There's identification in all sorts of aspects. They tried to do that intentionally. So okay, and you knew this, bro. You remember me asking you in high school, like towards senior year, I was like, bro, what's a Democrat?
Yeah,
Like, I literally didn't even know what a Republican or a Democrat was.
Yeah.
I was not knowledgeable. I was kind of stupid when it came to. I was stupid
I think
when it came to
everybody
politics.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
I
I
didn't
mean?
know shit about that. So if somebody was to tell me they were a Democrat back in high school, I was like, okay.
Okay,
Like, I wouldn't be
whatever.
able to even understand like what kind of person you are. Okay, I don't even know what
I
that
don't know
is.
what you. Yeah,
Yeah, what that is. But now, when people are really open to the politics side of it, dude, this intentional identification is intentional to make us divided and judge people
To make
based off
enemies.
of that.
Make enemies.
Yeah. Because like now you got people who are like, or they're liberal, they're identified as liberal, as a leftist, and then you got a conservative and Republican.
Oh,
like,
yeah, these
or
guys are gonna
Democrat,
hate each other.
Now, or communists. Like now there's identified people fall in these categories. No difference from what they do within race.
Yep.
They do this intentionally to cause division. I mean,
Yeah.
people want to talk about Martin Luther King. Oh, Martin Luther King was for the black. He was for everybody. His famous quote, like you posted,
judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm a firm believer in that message.
well, that's why they killed Martin Luther King.
100%. And if you think it's not shady, go look at how he was killed. I'm just saying it's pretty shady.
Yeah, it was intentional, dude. And I've said this before in the previous podcast. Malcolm X even said the white liberal man persuades himself as a friend of the black man, but not only uses them as pawns in a political football game.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah,
You got to be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, so they understood the intentional division, and Martin Luther King, the reason why he was such a powerful figure, because he was a man of Christ. He was all about unity and love. That's why he said
unity.
yes, pure unity, not black power, not black excellence, not Black Lives Matter,
And
everybody.
on the reverse of that too, we're not talking about neo-Nazis. We're not talking about KKK. Yeah, those are the people that are so far gone. Yeah, you can't unify them. They've been ingrained and indoctrinated.
There's radical people like that in every race,
everywhere, every race, every religion,
yes.
everything.
Throughout history,
Yes.
terrorist groups, Muslims, right? There's radical Muslims that if they find that if they catch you educating young women, they'll cut your fucking head off,
Yeah.
or hands, or finger, whatever. It says in the Quran, in Surah 8, whatever, cast fires into the hearts of the disbelievers and cut off all their fingertips.
And then there's also, on the flip side, there's peaceful people that practice the Islamic religion.
There is.
There's no, people try to paint like, oh, you're this, so you're radical. I'm like, it's not like that. I'm like, that every person is different. You know what I'm saying? You can't analyze somebody based on what they claim to belong to or anything like that. You got to analyze them by their actions.
Their content of the character.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people like, dude, there's radicalism everywhere, man. There's radicalism in China, Vietnam,
Everywhere.
fucking Russia.
Yes.
Like, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Brazil, you got gang members. Like you can go on and on. There's pieces of shits in every single every single race. But at the end of the day, we're all human. And one thing is the reason why I love the military so much is because we all wear green and we all bleed red. There's no difference with the person sitting to the left and right of you.
That's what you're taught.
We're all brothers and sisters. We're 100%. All going to go fight together. So there's no division in that. And
Absolutely none.
That's why like the military was a very good eye-opening experience for just realizing we're all one.
Yeah. I would agree with that 100%. You know,
there's no race in the military.
No, it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all.
The only thing is rank.
The guy to the left and right of you, they're going through the same crap.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody's getting special treatment. Nobody's doing any of that. We're all doing the same thing. Yeah. We're living in the same environment, same shit, different day.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Yeah, and that's what makes a huge factor in general for of having a successful community, country, and everything is unity. And why do you think they intentionally tried to divide us? Because united we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
The more that we are divided, the more that we are weaker. And that's why they always manipulate. They want black people to hate white people and white people to hate black people.
Yeah.
And even when it goes to Mexicans or, Asian Americans or whatever, like, dude, they want us to just hate each other. And the last thing they want is for us to be friends, for us to be realized, whoa, wait a minute.
We actually have a lot in common.
We're all American.
Yeah, exactly.
We're really all the same people. We live on the same street.
Yeah.
Wait. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
And then they got us fucking with each other on the same team. Wait a minute, this don't seem right. Like, holy, like, I mean, the more when y'all look past that, and like when Andy Frisella saw it, it's like, dude, for you to be thinking about race, you got to be low IQ. Like, and it's just through manipulation, government programming.
100%.
One thing we wanted to talk about was the border.
Yes, we should probably finally hit on that.
Yeah,
it's talking about unity and stuff like that. If you can't look at the southern border as a crisis, then you're probably just stupid.
Yeah.
if I had to be honest. Yeah. I don't know how you can look at that and believe anything that they're pushing out about it. If you don't think that the number of illegal immigrants that we've had come into our country isn't above 10 million, then you're wrong. You're frankly wrong. We've got evidence on evidence on evidence.
Bro, look at it in these communities like Detroit, Chicago, New York. Bro, they're kicking kids out of school where they have to do virtual learning for the rest of the year.
Denver's spokesperson for the mayor just told them that we've literally had too much capacity. He said they gave the message in Spanish and told them we can transport you to northern border cities so you can try and immigrate to Canada, or we can bus you to somewhere else in the United States. If that's not a danger indicator, like, this is a big problem, then I don't know what it is. And it's not like, oh, well, you're just racist for saying that. I have nothing against people that are immigrating here, but I wish it would go through the legal process. That way they could be, we could understand who they are, where they actually come from. We've got CIA targeters coming out on the Sean Ryan show saying we have biometrics on X. I don't remember the number, but it was a large number of confirmed terrorists that are coming into the country.
Yep. That want to kill you.
Yes.
Because you are American.
Yes.
You guys, listen to this.
There are people out there that hate you because of the country you belong to.
Yeah, they literally would want to behead you and put your head on a stick and celebrate that in their fucking village because they hate Americans.
Put it online, put it on video. ISIS chopping off people's heads,
they do that all the
burning
fucking
them alive.
Time. And you know what? You know what it is, too? A lot of people don't realize the world. They're not open to the world. They're so shackled in their own environment through TikTok, constant distractions, the news channel. They're stuck in these own visions of the world
and social media
they do intentionally to keep people distracted from not seeing what's going out in the real world.
Yeah, and social media will tear those posts down. Yeah. And it sounds messed up, but yeah, we should see that because that's reality for some people.
No,
it's
some
reality
people,
that you're going to get killed.
Some people see that are like, whoa, like that
I've never seen this before. I'm like, yeah. It happens.
This happens. And this is what they would do to you.
We're just in America, man.
We're the greatest country in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. And people do not dude. And I think the more people are exposed to the darkness of the world, the more people would go to the light.
Yeah. And I think unawareness is such a big problem.
Dude, we've been talking about unawareness this whole podcast.
Exactly.
Fitness.
Yes.
The media.
Yeah. It all ties in.
It all is unawareness, and lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And this is why the truth will always be suppressed, because the truth sets you free.
Yeah.
And they don't want the truth, because if we know the truth, we know we're supposed to be united, we're all one and everything. A lot of this shit nowadays would not be happening, because what y'all don't realize is that we, the people, are the true power. It goes back in the medieval times, even back when I think it was Queen Bloody Mary, actually. Dude, one of her quotes was like, cause distraction and ruckus on the floor so they don't look up at the tower. Yeah. And as the tower, that's why, like, you know, like there was that one bloody day where like 400 people died. They're all killing each other on the floor and everything. Like they want people to be fighting at the bottom of the floor, so they don't look up and realize who's the real problem,
who's pulling the strings.
Yeah, and at the end, that's what they're constantly doing. It's like a little rat fight of all of us at the bottom, constantly fighting over shit that does not affect anything. Like we're gonna talk about it, fight over abortion. Like, listen, man, like you know, I might personally think it's wrong, but that is your personal choice, right? That does not affect. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect us, and it's a small percentage, dude. Like now, you know, like I think there's moral things to it when people have like fetishes about it. Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, but bro, like if somebody, you know, they go through their own things. There's been messed up stories. There's other people that want to do that's on them. Yeah, that's nothing to do with us, and that's not going to make an impact on this country. Yeah, they do it intentionally. What's funny is during the whole abortion deal, Ghislaine Maxwell's trial was going on.
Exactly. It's distractions.
Distraction.
I like to if I was going to establish a political party, this is what I would call it. I would call it freedom absolutist. I'm like, I don't care what you do as long as it does not affect the people around you.
Yes.
Like you can do, you can whatever you want to do. Don't let it affect the people around you.
Okay, listen. There's been transgender people, drag queens forever. Yes. I mean, my dad told me a story about back in the 60s. I think I told you about this in Kansas City. Yes. Him and his friend basically came across these two they didn't know. They thought they were two beautiful blondes, and they were talking in the car. They switched cars, the car hop, whatever. Yeah, that was a car hop back in those days. Yeah. And he got out, you know, my dad's talking to this girl, whatever, and a guy comes, knocks on his window, and he's like, hey, gets out. My dad's like, you know, I thought it was some of his boyfriend, whatever, and he gets out, and he's like, hey, you know those two girls you're with? And he's like, those aren't she's, those are he's. He's like, what? He's like, they're drags. And my dad's like, what? And he said his friend, he said, told his buddy it's a guy. And he said, you're a fucking guy. And the dude got out, and he said the guy grabbed and ripped the wig off. He's like, you motherfucker, you know, like it was gonna kill him. Lord. Yeah,
that would have been a movie
but
scene.
But that's in the 60s.
Yeah,
it's been around. Listen.
The problem is what they're coming after kids, man.
But that's intentional, right?
Yes.
So they do
that's
it
messing with someone else. That does not qualify as
if
freedom.
For instance, with my, you know, and I was very open with my mom, right? You know, when my mom growing up, she was being lesbian, right? Yeah. She made it seem that it was like, you know, her girlfriends or whatever were her friends. Yeah. Like, dude, I didn't really find out my mom was like, you know, lesbian until I was like 15.
That's frankly how it should be.
Or 16. Like, I was naive, man.
I heard a funny, I think it was for Cella's podcast again. I'm gonna reference it again.
Yeah.
But it was like you would never have a straight person going into school and explaining to somebody that they're straight. Yeah. That doesn't work like that, because we don't mess with kids. That's like a line you don't cross. And I'm pretty hardcore on that stance, because I have two daughters. It directly affects me. If I ever came across that in a school district that they were at, they're getting pulled immediately.
Getting homeschooled.
It's not a discussion. It's not.
You're not going to infiltrate and poison my kid's mind.
You call me whatever you want.
You're not going to poison and plant seeds in my kid's mind.
Exactly. You can call me whatever you want at the end of the day, but that's not going to happen.
It's. And then this is where I talk about the manipulation to the mind. Why are they doing this? And as like I'm right there with you, freedom absolutist, dude. Yeah. Do as you please, as long as it's not infecting other people. Mm-hmm. Keep it to yourselves, and as long as it's not diminishing the values, the core values of our country, and making us go lower.
What's the thing you always used to say? The best lesson your dad ever taught you?
There's the best things in life is knowing how to keep your mouth shut and mind your own business.
That's almost like that ties into exactly what we're talking about.
Like, everything. Dude, you mind your own fucking business.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Man, dude. So, and the top on, we got to finish here quick. The top on a couple other things. Well, I wanted to talk about the manipulation of planting negative seeds in the people's minds, and the reason why they're coming at these kids and they're talking about it at such a young age, dude. So you want to talk about some real philosophical, higher frequency stuff? You want to talk about mind stuff? Is like, listen, your thoughts and your words translate into your physical equivalent. It talks about Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics, other books, the Undiscovered Self, the Bible. Yes, talks about it in the Bible. You think the word and everything that you think you're that's going through your conscious mind and is going straight to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your mind is basically thinking about your brain as a computer. We're like a storage device, right? That when you're typing on the computer, that's active. Yeah. But then everything else in the data is getting stored. Yeah. That's exactly what your brain and your mind is like. And these people don't realize is like a lot of y'all are shackled by your own negative seeds you planted in your subconscious mind. Maybe previous encounters you've experienced in your life, some trauma, maybe some things that people have told you. It diminished that negativity. You've soaked that in. You believed it. And that's planted. You may have forgotten about it. It might have been years. But the reason why you're at right now is because those seeds of negativity come up and prevent you from moving forward. Exactly. And this is what y'all got to realize. You got to reprogram yourself. And everything we're talking about this whole time is about a lack of knowledge, manipulation, and programming. They program us through the media and everything, but they also program you to be in a negative mindset. They also program you to be in a selfish state or in a sinful state or in a devilish state through the music. When you're worshiping this music, you're worshiping that and you're summoning spirits into your life. And you wonder why you're not getting, you're stuck, you're miserable, you're filled with hatred, you're living a life saying you're unfulfilled. Is because, dude, all these seeds are planted in your mind. And no difference would I compare. Your subconscious mind is like your garden and your seeds are your thoughts. And if a lot of y'all planted seeds of nothing but invasive weeds that are strangling all your fruits, and you can't bear fruit if you got weeds in your garden. So what y'all have to do is reprogram yourself with auto-suggestion. Andrew Carnegie, who is worth $400 billion in the 20s, dude. Like, this dude is like equivalent to a trillionaire. One of the richest men to ever live in America, dude. He even talked about auto-suggestion. I'm the best. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the leader. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. You literally constantly tell yourself these things, and you're planting, you're reprogramming yourself that you are this way, and that's also building up your self-image. And this is why it talks in the book Psycho-Cybernetics. Your self-image is what impacts your whole life, the way you walk, the way you talk. How do you uplift that? You do it through your thoughts first, through visualization and acts of disciplinary actions. I truly believe disciplinary actions, along with your thoughts, it'll back behind faith and a burning desire. You're planting seeds of growth to bear fruit. And dude, the seeds take the words of thought, and to be able to plant those seeds take action. And
it creates momentum. Dude. Is what it does. You start winning, you start accomplishing goals that you set for yourself. That's why we talk about the power list earlier. If you can accomplish, everyone out there can accomplish 5 things a day.
They're going to move you forward.
You'd be surprised, man. I literally had that mental battle with myself last night. One of my critical power tests was I was going to answer a discussion question post, and I was going to do both of them for my college. And it was 10:30 at night, and I was, being lazy. I was like, I'm going to play video games for a little bit. And I get done at 10:30 at night, and I'm looking at like my notebook, and it says DQ 1 and 2, and I'm like, I was like, I don't really want to do this right now, but
you did.
I forced myself. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm like, there's no, and that's you have to, you talk about that. You talk about the bitch voice in your head. Sorry to use language, but that's what it is. Whole time. I know. But that's what it is. That's what it is. You have to get that voice and back it down into a corner of your brain where it doesn't want to talk.
You know what I believe that voice is? I believe it's the devil. I truly believe. I agree. Because the devil doesn't want to see you grow and prosper. Why would he want to see you grow into the best version of yourself? No, he does not. Because if you're in the best version of yourself, you're defeating him, and you're another enemy, a freaking enemy that can destroy his presence. So the more that he can keep his presence going, the more he's going to thrive. And why would he not want people to of course he doesn't want people for us to thrive and everything.
Yes.
So what y'all got to realize and everything we're talking about, you guys got to really listen to the music that you're listening to. What movies are you watching? TV shows.
Yeah.
People you're hanging around with. What are the words that are going through your mind?
Yep.
That starts there first, and your actions, because your words follow, and then your words go, your thoughts go, and then actions follow. And you are in the position you are right now. If you're not happy with yourself, specifically because of the seeds you planted in your subconscious mind. Why do you think if the mind wasn't so powerful, why do you think they have placebo effects in studies?
Yeah, exactly.
And just because people, there's literally people, there's data showing that people with placebo have gotten the same results with people with actual studies. They actually believed it.
Yeah.
So the power of the mind, we're more powerful than we think we are.
Yeah.
And what y'all just need to understand, everything we're talking about, these are things that y'all have to put in your mind to understand.
Yes.
Open to the world, but also open your mind and clear out your garden. Get rid of those weeds. Plant those seeds of fruit so you can bear fruit. And what are seeds of fruit? Positive thoughts, auto-suggestion. Lie to yourself. Dude, if you're if you're fat, say I'm a jack motherfucker. I'm a jack motherfucker.
Muhammad Ali was calling himself a champion before he was ever
even a champion. Dude, just like being with DHG, bro.
Yeah.
I told myself I was DHG. I wasn't even supposed to be DHG. I went to the board I got selected for the leadership award, which is basically second place. And I went in. And after they filed it all through, this first sergeant status filed through, and he immediately looked at me and said, Montez, you're my student first sergeant. Every single one of y'all fucking sucked. Montez wasn't even supposed to be DHG, and he got DHG.
Yeah.
Because even when I got selected for leadership, I knew in my head, I told myself, I'm the DHG. And I did not doubt it.
Yeah.
So this shit is true, man. I'm telling y'all, manifestation is real. It says in the Bible, you ask and you shall receive. As long as you have that good intent, you plant those seeds back behind action.
Yeah.
And if you plant those seeds of thoughts of what you're trying to be, your actions will naturally follow it.
Yeah.
So it's that simple. So clean out your garden. Your garden is your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Plant seeds of positivity that will bear you fruit, and follow it along with disciplinary actions, and you will sprout like an oak tree. I promise you. And you'll just continue to got to do it day by day.
Yeah.
You also got to water your garden.
I like to say, I guess this will be my last note, but it's inputs, outputs, and purpose.
Yep.
If you input the right things and you deliver the daily outputs like you're supposed to do, because you know what you need to do, and you have a purpose in mind, it's really hard to fail.
Yeah.
It's really hard to fail.
Yeah. With faith too, man.
Yes.
You got that purpose, and backed behind faith, man, with that
That's
burning
what gives
desire.
You your purpose,
literally,
honestly.
Literally is faith, man. Is having, and that's why, God and Jesus is a huge factor in my life, because I wouldn't be exactly here where I'm at right now.
Yes.
Dude, we wouldn't be able to be sharp in the men we are without understanding the adversity that was put in our life was blessings.
Yeah.
Dude, clean out your garden. I hope y'all love this episode. It's getting on time, man. We could talk here for another hour, I feel like.
Yeah,
seriously.
we can keep going.
We'll need to do this
like
again.
a 4-hour episode. Yeah, we'll have to link up again.
Yeah, we're going to do it again. Well, dude, I love you, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on the
too,
show.
Man. I'm glad
we're
gonna
keep this going. I hope y'all got some good value from this. Please comment or tell me anything you enjoyed from the show, what you learned, whatever. And I'm still an 80 for sales deal. If you got value from it, share the show. If we made you laugh, you got some value, you got some good input, good knowledge that you took from this whatsoever, please share the show.
Yep.
It's only going to help us. We're only getting started here, and I just want to continue to spread the message and impacting people's lives. So
for sure.
That's what we're here for. Okay.
100%.
Love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yep. Glad to be here, man.
All right.
I knew that I was dead. I seen it. I thought it. I dreamt it. I said it. I did it. I made it. I tasted it. I love it. I need it.